Oh, I'll bring it up as soon as we get going here.
Hey. In the next round, we are live at Regents Field, Birmingham Barons, Montgomery Biscuits tonight. Rockstar singing in the seventh inning, dressed as a truck driver, according to Lance.
I didn't know there was an attire, so Lance is going to fill me in on what you're supposed to wear.
You didn't know there was a dress code?
I mean, you got a crowd out there.
It's a little too warm for that.
You're shaking your head, Lunsford. Why are you shaking your head?
Yeah, well.
It's only an hour.
Yeah.
It's only the first minute.
Dunaway, you said we had breaking news.
Oh, it was the debate about
about
what to wear at seventh inning stretch. Rockstar's out here, no wardrobe change, and he's dressed like a trucker apparently, according to LT.
I think you look fine.
Truckers wear next round shirts. Everybody.
All right, we'll as always do an ask us anything. Ask us anything. We're also going to tell you why today is important to us. There is a reason today. It has a special significance to all of us on the show. Everyone at Double Down Media, in fact, it has a very specific significance to us, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. You guys ready to start answering some questions? You got anything you need to share first?
Do we have a lot of questions?
We start with questions.
Do we have connections? We good? Everybody's good? Beautiful view here at the ballpark. Sunny day.
Look behind us, man. Gorgeous day. Just finished taking some infield and some BP.
The Barons here. Homestand continues throughout the weekend. We got Thirsty Thursday coming up Thursday. Fireworks on Friday. Saturday's hockey night. Lunsford hockey night out here.
I don't think the ice will stay. I mean, I think it's going to be.
How do they do that?
That's going to be interesting.
They're
stadium series, like
Barons hockey jerseys, and you wear your hockey jersey to the ballpark, you get a discount. So hockey night, all the details for all the giveaways and tickets at barons.com. But tonight, the first 1,000 adults, gates open in about 30 minutes, top of the hour here. First 1,000 adults get a T-shirt, and it's $1 hot dog tonight. Who's had a hot dog already?
I've already had a hot dog.
Me too. I'm one in. So it's hot dog night.
I didn't get. I am going to eat. I haven't eaten yet.
Are you a hot dog guy?
Do they have chicken sandwiches?
Did you bring any dollars?
You didn't answer my question. Are you a hot dog guy?
I could do it. Yeah, I could do it.
You two are going to fight before this.
No,
I'm.
You're wearing that.
I love hockey.
All right, here we go. Brooks is going to ask us the first question. Got a good question. I think each of you give us the first impression of each member of the show.
This goes back to the beginning where Lance hated my guts.
No.
Oh, you did. Lance.
Do we have to get into this again?
Lance.
Every time we do one,
you were trying to get me fired?
I wasn't trying to get you fired.
I was just pushing a little bit.
Never was I trying to get you fired. How would you try to get the guy who was bringing in the most money fired?
Oh, whatever. That's not the way you looked at it then, I could tell you.
I know a coworker of yours told me back in the day that you were
probably
trying
this guy, right?
No, it was somebody on the television side.
Mm-hmm. Would you apologize now, please?
See, you're going back to girls.
It is girls. But...
and girls, they were just talking because they were nervous talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
with your Don Draper-like looks.
I mean, nervous is like I'm going to order a salad. It's not Dunaway wants to have you fired. He's having people call your boss.
No, who is your boss?
Uh-oh.
How can I get them to call your boss? What would they call your boss over?
About, hey, look, this guy's a little too edgy.
Oh, no.
A little too edgy.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
You came to the dark side a little bit.
Yeah.
You're drinking on the air right now.
Good boy. He's got a point.
Touche.
Rockstar, do you want to start down there and give us your first impression of everyone?
I remember
you were an intern for us, right?
I wasn't I was a audio tech.
Yeah.
For the first time with Lance, we did
the fitting touch at Vestavia City Center.
Hilarious that you remember that. And I'd forgotten all about the fitting touch.
I thought it was.
Was that
it was at a place on 280. It was a place that sold cigars and spirits or something like that. And I was your tech. We had that big blue thing I had to set up every time. It was like a big desk that you had to unfold and put 3 director chairs.
Oh God,
up.
I hated that thing.
So it was just you doing the hour
and it was
show.
It was like that high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had to set that up. When you talked to me, that's when you asked me what I did, and I said I was a musician and everything. And that was like one of my first remote I ever did was with Wimp and Sonny. Mm-hmm. And I had to do another remote 30 minutes later to do an Eli show, which was easy to do, get across town.
Yeah.
But the next time I was scheduled to do a remote with you, it was at a Moe's Southwest Grill. and I went to the wrong location.
Oh, welcome to Moe's.
I went to the one in Hoover, and you were at the one in Lee Branch. And so I had called the station going, hey, I'm at the wrong place. This guy doesn't know who. And so you had to go home.
Oh, I did the show from my house.
You had to do I remember I was listening on the radio. It's like, he's going to be so pissed at me because I went to the wrong place. And I remember Bethany had given you the home phone, and you had transferred over from your cell phone to the home phone. And you're like, all right, well, we were supposed to have a show live at Moe's, but I guess the audio tech decided just not come and drink a Mountain Dew or something like that.
You roll Rockstar to the vibe.
I didn't give his name
in the Jock's vehicle, going like, "Damn it!" Because I was like, I was there an hour early. And
I wasn't mean. I remember doing that show though, from sitting in my bar in my basement.
Yeah, that was because I went to the wrong location.
Studio audience.
No, we're back alive. All right.
And that's how I met Nancy.
Yeah. So I'll just point blank, a lot going on downtown Birmingham. So this could be a little tricky here. But we're back. So you met us, and you really had no first impression of me in Dunaway.
Not really, because I didn't really engage with you guys that much. I'm trying to think of the only time
Because I was personable with you, right?
Yeah, you talked to me.
Yeah.
I
didn't care that he was making $7 an hour. I didn't
think it
big
was
time.
$6.25. And then you guys came to me for one of the parody songs.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
That was one of the first times I actually had worked with you.
I remember that. It was called "We Didn't Start the Firing" to "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Billy Joel,
and it was playing off Sylvester Croom, who anytime he beat somebody, they would get fired back then.
They got Croom.
We didn't start the firing.
So who took credit for the lyrics? Which one of these two, or did you do it?
I think Rockstar did. I think
no,
we would.
I did not write anything.
Really?
I mean, you gave me the whole lyrics that y'all just said it's to this tune.
Then it was done away.
Every lyric was written for me.
It was not me. It was not
me. Whatever.
Well, I know I did not write a lyric. And then I did the Guess the Meat. I did the lyrics.
You did Guess the Meat. You also did Dunaway, Jim Dunaway.
And then I had to do Tom Luganville to this tune of Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, because he's a big
Tom
Luganville.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
I lost that. I don't know where it is.
Oh, good.
Luganville's a big Neil Diamond guy.
I bet you I can find it.
Okay. Well, did you got Lance's first impression of you trying to get him fired? Now Brown.
My first impression of Lance?
Yeah.
My first impression of you is the first memory I have with you.
He was a Jew, right?
I thought he was Jewish.
Yep. Because my dad's an attorney.
Because his dad's an attorney and he wouldn't eat pork.
Yeah.
That is the most Southern Baptist thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, think about it. So we're at Wings. I'll never forget where
I had a really small hat that day. I left it in the dryer.
We're at the Baumhauers. We're at the Baumhauers.
He was 13.
I gotta be careful.
We're at the Baumhauers Patton Creek, and we were doing a show, and I had ordered pork nachos. And I was like, hey, if you like, hey, fella, if you would like
Let's
to
go find your sister.
I was like, man, I got a lot. I said, there's a lot here if you want to share with me. And then he goes, oh, no, thank you. I don't eat pork. And I knew his dad
especially from another man.
Yes. Well, I mean, they just delivered them right there in front of us.
What was your next question? Are you circumcised?
Prove it.
So
I don't take anybody's word these days.
So I knew his dad already because his dad had been a guest on Jocks before. And I knew his dad was a prominent Birmingham attorney. And so I was like,
one and one. That's perfect.
I was like, of course, his dad's an attorney
and
he won't eat pork. He's Jewish.
Yeah.
So I thought Rockstar was Jewish. Yeah.
Henniger is a very Jewish name.
Very, very Jewish.
Very Jewish.
My first memory of you is you and I It was something at SEC Media Days. There was a shared piece of equipment between the whole station, and we needed it.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know. No. It was like a recording device, and it was SEC Media Days, and Lance had an interview, and we had an interview at the same time, so we had it. And I'm not saying you complained, but somehow there was a disagreement about it, and I made my typical smartass, snarky remark, and you know, I remember in the meeting, Lance was like, and then Brown said such and such, which seemed like kind of a smart ass remark, if you ask me. And I was like, yeah, it was all on that.
Yeah. So you basically learned that I ended up being the smart ass one and he wasn't. Yeah. I really don't remember meeting anybody. I was trying not to lose my TV job then until I got a full-time radio job. I remember we've told the story 1,000 times. I didn't think the show would work between Lance, me, and Ryan, because we did a show one way, he did it a different way, and I was wrong about that. I'll own it now 13 years later. It's been the best 13 years of my life.
Wow.
Pete has do you have any first impressions
of you guys? Yeah, I thought that you were really young when I met you.
I started at Jocks.
You were probably 22.
24, 23, 24, something like that. Yeah.
So that was way before me. You met him early.
No, I mean, I could tell that Brown was a hustler, and
really,
no, I could tell.
Like worked hard or hustling, like manipulation.
Combination of both.
Yes, combination of both.
That's the way you got to do it, right?
That's not true.
Dunaway was a condescending dick from day one.
Typical TV guy.
I'm kidding. I did have maybe an impression because of your TV. And Rocky, I thought he was such an interesting guy.
He is,
but so introverted.
Yeah, a little bit.
To bring it out.
Yeah.
Always had these wild girlfriends. I mean, wild ass girlfriends.
It wasn't fun, man.
Hey, but just for the record.
But I would invite him over just to bring his good looking girlfriends over.
I remember.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Just so we're on the record here. I'm a different person 13 years later
You are.
than I was.
No. Dunaway has changed a lot. I would agree. Dunaway I was one of the few people that could work with Dunaway when he first started in radio.
Yeah, but not talking anger or any of that. I mean, I used to be angry all the time too. I'm talking about I was nervous about losing my job.
Yeah, everything.
And so everything I was worried about, God, is LT going to play Name That Stripper? Is that going to get me fired from whatever station I was at the time? Or, are we going to see something bad about Alabama and Auburn today? Is that going to get me fired at my TV job? And it took a while for me to get over that. And I am now.
Good.
Alcohol will do that.
Name That Stripper tomorrow?
I'll do Name That Stripper tomorrow.
All right.
Brown opted out of that. There you go.
But y'all already brought religion up on the show.
Pete asked a selfish question for Lance. I'm a huge watch guy. What's the stainless white dial watch you typically wear?
What?
I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
He's a wrist watch guy.
You don't want to answer that one?
I mean, I will. Okay, so here's the story behind this. So I've endorsed Bromberg's forever.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, we used to be able to talk about Rolex. It was one of their co-op vendors. And so because Bromberg's was so good to me, I bought a Rolex from them like 18 years ago, an Explorer 2. Tell me this is not a great investment. I hate to admit that I paid $3,300 for it like 15 years ago. That watch is worth $13,000 right now.
That's a good investment.
Yeah, it is. Good investment.
But likely you wouldn't get that much at a pawn shop here locally, so it's not worth.
Not like you're taking to a pawn shop.
It is not worth.
Best I can do is $200.
It is not worth macheteing his arm off next time he's wearing
But
it.
one of the reasons that I got that is because it's so subtle. A lot of people think it's a Swiss Army watch.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So nobody really knows, because most Rolex, you've got the typical color scheme.
Yeah.
And that one's so different that, I just like the Explorer too.
I did think it was a Swatch. Yeah. So
Hey,
never knew it was a Rolex.
So Lunsford, who is here, says one day there'll be a show or podcast where he'll share a first impression of someone. It'll be an all-timer. Is it one of us?
Oh, I got a headset if you want to borrow it.
I know it wasn't me though, because we worked together, right? Or was it me?
Oh, please sit down. You set the
Yeah.
table.
No.
doesn't
I mean, he
matter.
said one day. Can you do it on the show tomorrow? Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
Oh, can't wait to hear
Will
Not
you
if it's
give
me.
us a hint? Is it this side or that side?
Oh boy.
Is it one of us four?
He's just,
He's already.
are they in
answered
the stadium tonight?
that. He's singing the seventh inning
Okay,
stretch.
let's eliminate one person. Is it me?
It is you. I know 100% it's you.
It-
Oh, it's not Rock Show.
And I will not be able to sleep tonight.
Well, Lunsford was my intern. Our intern for the round table.
Lunsford loves you. It doesn't matter if it's a bad first impression. You just admitted you were a jerk.
I've missed 2 poker manias in a row, though, so I'm not on the good list anymore.
I feel pretty comfortable it wasn't me.
We're down
I'm
to
just
2.
saying.
Okay.
We're down to 2.
I was always like
An all-timer, though.
very, very nice to everybody I work with.
Before you tell the story,
Okay.
how many people called your midnight radio show
Oh my God.
on a little listened to sports startup station?
So
wow.
we were working for Jocks, and you called into 97.3.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Well, they were trying to hire us anyway, so
They
it didn't
were
really
at the
matter.
time.
Trust me, he wasn't home. Might as well do something, right?
Josh asked, old school 5-man Survivor Series team. What 5 pro wrestlers make up your team?
5?
Yeah.
God. Andre the Giant.
Junkyard Dog, Hillbilly Jim,
Macho Man.
Superfly Snuka,
Yeah, I was going to
Jimmy-
go Superfly.
and I'll go Hulk Hogan.
You
Ultimate
can't
Warrior?
do this without Macho Man. And
The
Ultimate
greatest
Warrior.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Ultimate Warrior, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Hacksaw Jim Dugan,
The Rooster. What was that?
the Great Kabuki, and Kerry Von Erich.
Oh, Earthquake. The big fat guy that would just sit on you. His finishing move was he'd sit on you.
That seems kind of lazy.
I might go Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, she was a great interview.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth.
I thought Charlotte Flair in person looked really good.
Well,
I
she was
did-
but she was an awful interview.
Oh
She
yeah,
also-
because she didn't give a shit. She was like on her phone texting,
Yeah.
Snapchatting.
I
all
will
that
say
kind of
when I
stuff.
shook her hand, it seemed like she
She had
dried,
some big hands.
she dried her hands with sandpaper.
Mm.
I think.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean,
very manly
Yeah,
hands.
I mean,
we'll say
some
that.
calluses from wow.
She was better looking in person than Britney Spears when I met her.
so when did you meet Britney?
Well, we
Spears?
didn't meet, but we were this close together. I was this far away.
Where?
The
Were you
Daytona,
stalking her somewhere?
Daytona 500. She sang the national anthem. I forget which year it was.
Oh, say,
And,
go ahead.
Is that what she did?
That's
Wow.
how she sings.
Do a 7th inning stretch tonight like Britney.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Can you give us some renditions of what you might do?
No.
I don't know
You
why
got to
you're
hang
doing
out.
Can you give us a-
I'm going to stay either way.
Can you give us the chorus to Toxic?
It's a good ass song, but that is annoying.
It is a great song. But she was
Um,
all eaten up with acne. All eaten up
Really?
with acne. Yep.
Yeah.
Part of our show, as
Wait,
always,
wait,
from the regions.
She was not.
She was all eaten up with acne that day in the
Oh.
Daytona 500.
Or shit. I don't believe you.
I mean, it may have been that time of the month, LT. I don't know. She just
Oh.
didn't look
Brittany,
good in
no
person.
way.
Quick question.
Britt.
I'm not.
oh, he
talking-
would ask her.
Oh, there's no
Hey,
doubt.
look, I've seen you before.
Nope.
You look like you've got really clear skin.
Maybe 17, 18 years old then. When was
No.
she? Oh,
She came onto the scene in
99, 98, 99.
was 98 with Hit Me Baby One More Time, and I think she was 18 then.
okay. Well, then it was after that.
She's a grown woman now.
Can you Google when Britney Spears sang the national anthem at Daytona?
No, just don't even worry
I
about
bet
it.
it pops up. We're at Regents Field, as you can tell, downtown Birmingham. The Biscuits are taking batting practice below us. The Barons out earlier. It is dollar dog night here. And
Hot dog. Not
dollar hot dog night.
I got a Chihuahua.
And in 10 minutes, we'll open up the gates. First 1,000 adults get a T-shirt. But don't forget, the homestand doesn't end tonight. We continue tomorrow night, back here for Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, big hockey night on Saturday. You get all your ticket information at barons.com, barons.com.
Michael says, Brown, I've always loved when you do the love you sign off with Wimp. Wimp with us tomorrow, 9:25. What got you started doing that? All right. So do you guys know how Dunaway always gets frustrated when I don't give him credit for good ideas?
Mhm.
This was actually Rockstar's idea, that at the end of the segment with Wimp, just make it as awkward as possible. I think one time you just mentioned that.
No, it was sometimes like with male friends when I'm on the phone with them, I always say, "I love you" at the end, and they're always
Yeah.
like, "Okay, bye." Like they
Yeah.
don't know how to react, so it's always just an
And
awkward
Rockstar
thing.
brought that up one time, and it was I wonder what Wimp would do. Make
Yeah.
it just super awkward. So I did it one time, and he was completely
throws you off.
flustered. I mean, like Wimp did not know what to say.
Hey, so I'll never forget the first time you met David Walls is our general manager. You know, we all had to come into the conference room. Nobody knew what was going on. We're going to introduce the new market manager. Everybody went up, shook hands, talked. Rockstar went and gave him a hug.
Rockstar is the king of awkward.
And I think your first question, it was like, hey, we're open for questions. And didn't you ask him about watching?
No, that was the
No,
previous one. That was your
that was-
boy.
That was the previous one because everybody was like, "Does anybody have any questions?"
Two before.
And nobody was asking questions, so I just said, "What was the last movie you saw?" And he goes, "The Air Up There," and I was like, "All right."
Was
the
that the
Kevin Bacon one?
No, George Clooney and
Oh, yeah,
Fear
yeah,
of
Up in the
Tomorrow.
Air.
yeah. What
Oh,
was
the
the
air up
Kevin
there.
Bacon where?
The air up there.
Yeah.
Was that the one? Was that the general manager that came in and said everybody's going to make more money,
Yes,
and then he
if-
cut us by 25%?
He
That
said
one?
if 1 year from now everybody's not making more money, then I have failed.
Oh, he failed.
He felt bad. Anna Kendrick, talented or annoying?
I've never been a big Anna Kendrick
Oh,
fan.
You can be both.
Yeah, in that
Yeah.
movie, she was fantastic.
Which one?
The one with George
Up
Clooney.
in the
yeah.
air. We're talking about two different movies.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, but she was good in Pitch Perfect too. But
Oh,
yeah, I
she's-
did like her in Pitch Perfect.
Fantastic. Good.
She's just very
Fantastic.
mousy.
She played a serious role in The
Yes.
Accountant with Ben
Yeah, I
Affleck.
didn't like that movie.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Andrew says, Dunaway, we've heard all the mud puddle stories. Alabaster is not what it used to be. It's growing bigger every day. Is the mud puddle still there?
It is.
And is the home you grew up in?
The home is still exactly the same. Mom and Dad just had an anniversary on July the 3rd. They have been married a long time because I don't ever give my real age. But they are 16 and 17 years older than me. And
What did James give her? Jam?
This is from the pantry.
Yeah.
I found it.
He
Uh,
makes it, right?
this is sort of romantic, okay? Romantic or not, around the room.
Okay.
My mom woke up on her no, it was her birthday, July 8th. So
this
different
is
story.
recently. This
Yeah,
is
July
on her
8th.
stomach.
somebody's mom.
Speaking of jam,
So
He's the one that talks
I
about
know,
her.
I know.
So on her birthday, July 8th, just a few days ago, they got married on the 3rd, July 8th, her birthday. She texted me and said, "Oh, I just woke up to the smell of a cake baking. My dad was baking her a cake."
I don't believe
Wow,
it.
how about that?
So I got pictures. I got a
Might
picture
get
of
her a
proof.
pudding pie from the Circle K. I'm not baking her a cake.
But no, the mud puddle.
That's fairly romantic.
Yeah, mud puddle hasn't changed.
why don't
still
we
the
do a
same.
show from the mud puddle?
Basement seal floods.
I would love to.
Yeah, just a tour.
One of the 3 bathrooms work.
Oh
It's,
yeah, can we
it's
do a
rough.
tour of your?
No, his house got
Your
hauled.
childhood house?
His house got hauled off when he was like in 7th grade.
No,
yeah,
the-
the
I
one
mean
you
the
ended up in.
trailer's long gone, but we're not going to see my house. No, I know.
Like if we
What
went
about your
away.
bedroom, your old bedroom?
Yeah.
No,
If
no.
we
Is
No,
this-
I mean, Maggie has never been to this house.
Oh, now we got
My kids have never seen
It's
it.
never
not
even
like, it's not
driven
like you
by?
shit in a hole. You had a
Just
bathroom,
telling you.
right?
I'm just telling you.
did you
no.
never drive by it? You never drove your kids by and said that's where Dad grew up?
Maggie may have been on the outside. I just had to drop and stop something off.
Apparently, Maggie's dad drove by.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. I don't. The last time I can't remember the last. It was pre-pandemic since I've been in the house.
In the house.
Yeah.
So you've gone back in there. Oh, they still live there.
You're
they
talking
still
about your
live there.
house now, right?
No. Can you shoot a bird on the internet?
That is the joke you will never give up, right?
It's true though,
How
right?
long
Instead
have-
of it a joke.
How long have they been in that house?
It was actually my grandfather, Pop, and Nanny. We were talking about them on the show earlier. They built that house when we moved from on Salura, the house I was conceived and born in, on Highway 31, and that had no indoor plumbing. And we moved to this house.
Moving on up.
down in
No,
S-
your mom was a 5-tool player, so conceived and
gave
birthed.
birth in the same bed.
That's unbelievable.
Same house, same bed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
And probably washed the own sheets, right? Or hung them out to dry.
Yeah, by the creek, just batting them with a rock.
This game was played. You can see it on the wall. Was played the day after I was born, 1929.
Oh, geez.
Any more
Okay,
good questions?
Somebody else,
Yep,
get
we
me
got
out of the
some.
box. Get me out of the box.
Stacy, I'm a big movie guy. Just wondering, what is everyone's favorite movie? Rockstar?
My favorite movie?
Yeah, we just mentioned it, right? Pitch Perfect.
I don't know if I have a favorite movie, but I have a lot of. Interstellar's awesome. I love Shawshank. Dumb and Dumber's got to be up there. Breakfast Club. I don't have an all-time
You
favorite.
don't have a favorite?
No.
Lance, you're Goodfellas, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's difficult just to circle on one. I like Goodfellas. I like Seven.
7 is good.
American Beauty.
American Beauty is incredible. Out of Sight is really good. Get Shorty.
Look Who's Talking Now.
The Shining, Jaws. I got a lot.
I lost some of the comments for some reason. Hang on.
I would not
I got 'em
put
now.
Miss Congeniality in my
You
top
wouldn't?
10. though.
No.
What about
Um,
the second one, Armed and Fabulous.
But for real, my two and haven't changed in years. I am a big
Junction Boys.
Serendipity and Notebook. My two favorites
mine's-
all time. And what's the Christmas one? Love Actually. Those are my top three.
Don't know what.
Actually, maybe Love Actually is number one. Maybe.
So I am Saving Private Ryan, And
No, you're not personally your favorite movie.
no.
Saving Private
That is my favorite movie, Saving Private Ryan.
Give the stat from earlier about all. No, it's your stat. All the
Oh, yeah.
combined financials that we spent to save the actor Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, yeah. Rockstar gave it to us. It was The Martian, it was Interstellar, and it was Saving Private Ryan. $900 billion.
Yeah, well, they had to save him from Mars.
You know what? They would have let
save him from another.
they would have let him die.
Yeah, another galaxy in Interstellar.
They got him all 3 times.
Yeah. He made it.
Have you seen some of the photos that new satellite is sent back?
Hubble.
No. There's a new NASA
I
satellite.
saw the first one, the infrared one.
Yeah.
Of the what to date the furthest light in the universe away from us is.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's like over 30 miles or something.
We're going to
like
keep
Oh, yeah.
messing around until we open up the door, and they're going to know we're here.
It's basically here to Clara, Rockstar. Chad asked, "What is the maddest Wimp has been at any of you?" When we were still at Jogs,
that. Lance tried to get him fired.
there was an issue.
He did say
Oh
that,
no,
didn't
no. Who Wimp?
Yeah, remember?
No,
he
yeah,
sat
yeah.
at it and tried to sell him.
Yeah, no. When we were still at Jogs, Wimp was sponsored by Coca-Cola and Piggly Wiggly, I think. And there was some sort of change, and the corporate people wouldn't allow the arrangement he had. I can't remember all the details. So I called him to tell him, and he freaking lost it on me. I know y'all don't want me on your show. Why don't you just tell me instead of making this story up? I'm like, Wimp, why would we not want you on our show? People love you. I know better than that. I mean, he was pissed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even me. And I hung up on him, and that pissed him off more when I hung up on him.
I've never had a bad conversation off air, but sometimes he's, hit or miss.
Local TV days. It was the worst day when you're a sportscaster, when the news people want you to get a soundbite for them. And they were running a news story about Alabama's athletic department's graduation rates.
Does that mean it's a slow day?
No, it's just something they've read in a newspaper or a website now, and they want it to be a news story. And it was something about graduation rate of athletes. And so it was during basketball season. Wimp had his media availability, and I had to ask him about graduation rates with his players. And he gave the famous quote that, is the big group of reporters there. And I had to ask him, about his graduates, what do you think of the graduation rate of players? How do you deal with that? And he gave me the angry growl and went off on me and said that famous line, every one of them who graduates from his program, everyone that wants to, whatever the famous line was in that big group there that day.
One of my
He was pissed off.
One of my favorite Wimp stories is with Ray Mellick. And when Ray was covering Alabama for the Birmingham Post-Herald, Wimp had a practice that was open to some boosters or something like that. And Mellick knew the law and knew if you open it to the boosters, you can't close it to the media. So Ray went and sat down and watched practice. And Wimp sent a manager up, says, "Coach says you got to leave." And he said, "You tell Coach you can't kick me out of here."
Oh, no.
That it's state law. So the manager goes back down and he said, "I can see the steam coming out of Wimp's ears." So that manager comes back up, says, "Coach says you absolutely have to leave." And Ray told him, he said, "You go tell him this is a state-owned building, and the state law says if he opens it to any member of the public, I can be here." And he says he goes back down there and he goes, Wimp's just yelling at everybody. I can hear him yelling up in the stands. And he says, finally he relents and he sends the manager back up and says, "Okay, Coach says you could stay." And Ray says, "Oh, tell him I got somewhere to be." And he got up and walked out.
That's very believable.
No,
though.
it's 100%. You know how pissed Wimp would have gotten at that? Tell him I got somewhere to be.
Dunaway, do you need one?
No, I'm good.
This is about to be a beer
Positive.
run.
This will take me.
Oh, Dunaway will have this when Rockstar sings.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
This will take me the other 30 minutes of the show.
All right. Daniel says, since you're at Region Field, best baseball movie of all time. Rockstar.
Oh, this is easy.
Sandlot.
Sandlot is good. I thought about that.
Bull Durham.
I would go.
Major League too.
I'd go The Natural.
I'd go Bull Durham.
Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Do you like The Natural?
Most realistic.
I'd like The Natural. I've never seen The Sandlot.
It's a good film. It's on like FX movies all the time.
Here's a good one. B. Foshi. If the prize was $10 million, but you had to win a World Series of Poker type tournament by playing a board game, which particular board game would you choose? So it's a board game tournament.
You know what?
$10 million.
In my family, we never ever played Monopoly. We never had like board game night. So I never had friends that
This is where Dunaway said your dad had already won Monopoly, Rockstar.
Yeah. I have never played a game of Monopoly in my life.
You lying.
Yeah.
We played Monopoly at my house. It was all ones and fives.
Yeah. Our family was
My
always
dad tried to use the hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
our family is all Twister. Saturday night Twister night.
Yeah, naked, right? Naked though.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
do naked twister?
Yeah, of course, because you cheat if you
Oh,
hide stuff in
yeah,
your
yeah,
clothes. But no,
absolutely.
I don't play board games, so I would die. I would lose that 10 million.
I know you
Oh.
love some Uno, but that's not a board
Yeah,
game.
I'd go Shoots and Ladders.
Oh, that's interesting.
Candyland, shoots and ladders.
Shoots and Ladders.
Mousetrap.
Clue.
I feel like, I mean, it's just complete luck of the spin, but I feel like I'm pretty good at the game of life.
I've never played.
I've played that game.
It seems to be a lot of luck there.
Well, there's just luck of the spin, but there's decisions you also have to make that
Right.
determine how much money you have at the end. Because you divvy up the property and stuff.
I would go 2. Scrabble is not one of them. I'm horrible at that.
That's a shocker.
I would I would go Risk, where it's a war game.
I would love to see you play.
When is
Risk.
the last time you've played a Risk?
When's the first time you played
Yeah, I
Risk?
bet you've
Tim
never.
Cooley's house. We used to play all the time. Games that would last longer than days. We'd have to leave the board out.
Yeah.
We'd go on forever.
Well, hey, there's an updated map since you last played it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He had Pangea.
What is
Why-
Pangea?
So all the continents were big supercontinent.
I'm buying the 13 colonies. Here we go.
Oh, did you see the T-shirt? Who had that? Was it
It was one of our listeners, Bobby.
Bobby sent us that T-shirt that said, what was it? It was about having
It says the British blew a 13 colony lead.
yeah, the British blew 13 colony lead.
So
That's really
good.
That's a
Good.
great
I
T-shirt.
wish we'd have thought of that one.
The British blew
I wish-
13 colony lead.
Michael asked if you've talked to Matt Jones since that interview. I cannot believe how many people still bring that interview up. But you have
No,
not. have you?
I have not talked to Matt.
He's
I
been
don't-
back on the show. Since
Yeah,
then.
I don't know Matt. He came back on the show. Everything was fine, and then you and him got into it
A
about
little bit of a Twitter.
About Clay Travis.
yeah, about he thought you were hypocritical
He did.
because of politics, but having Clay on. But
Well-
I mean, the true story is Clay really doesn't talk politics with
Well,
us.
he missed. I mean, I think Matt, unfortunately, because of his hatred of Clay, missed the point of the article. The point of the article was Clay is a political figure, but when he comes on the show, he doesn't really talk politics. Occasionally he does. We don't really ask him about it, but that was kind of the point. Like we had on, I mean, I think it was Jim Ross. Was it JR we had on that started hammering President Trump and people got all pissed, but we didn't shut him down. I mean, we're not going to do that, but if we didn't ask him a question, he just randomly started.
But I know what you were
Aaron.
talking about with ESPN because, when we grew up on ESPN, it really was an entertainment sports network.
It was an escape. Yeah.
It was. And now everything's so political and they try to be so balanced on everything. And you can tell that it's such an effort on their part. And, after I sent that, kind of backing you up because I agreed with what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
I started to think we've got a lot of relationships with the ESPN employees.
We do.
So I quickly had to back that up a little bit because I don't want to insult their employer, but at the
No.
same time, it is a true belief.
You would have been surprised how many of our ESPN friends reached out to me privately and said, "Thank you for saying it."
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not alone in saying that.
Yeah.
Blake asked, "Rockstar, any chance Gary the Gator sings the 7th inning stretch?"
He could. I mean, any chance that a lot of people recognize Gary the Gator?
Well, it
Do you
doesn't
want to
matter.
go Gary the Gator against me, Blue Jokes right now?
I'll do it. I think I could have. I gotta get some though. I gotta have some in my arsenal.
How do you
many
not have? I've
I
got.
have a few, but you have.
I can do like 5 or 6. If these guys are comfortable, I don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know how blue we're getting here.
Well, with Lance, it's going to be dark blue.
Yeah, well, I would say. I
Oh,
would
it's
say.
going to be purple.
Well, according to your Barrett,
Bruised.
your Barrett Communications, whatever the
Barrett
paper-
Sports Media.
yeah, we can do anything as long as it's not politics. So go ahead.
That's not at
Make it
all
as
what
blue
it
as
said.
you
That's
want.
not at all what it said.
Well,
John.
we'll just see what these people want. If they,
Brett said, "How did each of us end up at Jogs?"
I'll get my story first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll never forget. I failed as an actor in LA. So I was driving back, and I was listening to Herb and Ben, and I was telling myself I had listened to Herb and Ben before I left, and I was telling myself someday because I had gotten a degree in broadcasting and film, and so my plan was to become an actor. If it didn't work out, I wanted to get into broadcasting. So driving back into Birmingham, I was listening to those guys, and I said, I'm going to find a way to get on a show at Jogs. So I get back, I send my resume and tapes to everyone. I have two interviews, WZZK and Radio Disney. Radio Disney offers me a job as a promotional guy. I had to come power down the station at night because it was on a signal that interfered with another one. I'd have to go up there at like 5:30 at night. Anyway, I start selling for Radio Disney. Steve Green, old sales manager at Jogs, comes down because his daughter was listening to Radio Disney. He said, "You guys have no numbers. Who sells for y'all? Y'all have got clients on the air." And I'm like, "I do." And he's like, "How do you sell it?" I go talk to people and, tell them that it's a good product. So he ended up calling me up, interviewed me, gave me a job, started selling for Jocks. And then Brent Seal was our PD. And I was like, "Look, I know I'm a sales guy, but I've got a background in sports. This is what I got my degree in. If you would just allow me to try to do different things to get on the air." He let me do what was called the Round Table. It was a Friday show. You might remember it. It was like
I remember you starting it. Yeah.
it was like a variety of different people would come on. And then he let me start doing the Monday Night Football show. And then from there, I'll tell you how I got luck. Wimp gave me my biggest break, because when Jay Barker came on board, they wanted to move Wimp and Sonny to a certain time. Wimp wouldn't do it because of tea time. So Kerry Lambert, old PD after Brent, had a 1 hour gap, and he had to fill it somehow. And he said, "I'll give you 1 hour." And Terry Bond, the old general manager, said, "Here's the deal. I'll give you the hour, but we're not going to pay you at all."
Hell yeah.
Oh, buddy, you got paid though. You figured that out. You figured that out.
I was like, "I'll do it."
Yeah.
And then I did it for a year, and then I got my first contract. It was $1,000 a month on air, and that was it. And here we are now, 1,000 years later.
Yeah. When I was at school at Jacksonville State, Chris Stewart, the voice of Alabama baseball and basketball, and I would imagine one day Alabama football, I would guess Chris is probably the one that replaces Eli, if I had to guess.
I'd bet on that.
Yeah. Chris worked for the Alabama Radio Network, and he and Ray Mellick did an afternoon show. That's not the ones that do Alabama football and basketball. It was a news network, and they provided newscast and news shows and sportscasts for stations all over Alabama. And Chris was the sports director, and they needed a producer. And it was on the second floor, and Jocks was on the third floor. Well, I took the gig, and shortly after that, Chris got the job with Alabama baseball, so he had to leave. And they promoted me to sports director, which is why I dropped out of Jacksonville State. We make a running joke about it, but I was in school there, and I'm like, going to school to get a job like this. Why not just drop out and take this job? So that's what I did.
It was like leaving for the pros, basically.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent,
athlete,
for much less money, obviously, but yeah. And Jocks was on the third floor, and I knew to ever make it in this business, I had to get on Jocks somehow. And Herb Winches and Ben Cook had a producer, and somebody told me the producer left, and I knew Herb and Ben, but I also knew I used to leave at 6 o'clock every day, and Herb and I would frequently run into each other in the parking lot. So I'd try to time it so I'd run into Herb so I could bring up the job. So the first day he's on the phone, Herb, he's got that cell phone. So it's
what car was he driving?
The
Cadillac Satera?
Either that or is that red Lexus?
Red Lexus Coupe.
The one you backed into?
Oh yeah, I backed into that.
Yeah.
He was so
he was pissed at you. But I think he was already in that red Lexus. I could be wrong. It might have been the Cadillac. So day 2, Herb on the phone again. Day 3 is like a Wednesday. Herb's on the phone, and he goes, "Hang on just 1 second. Ryan, I need a producer. You ought to apply for that job." I was like, "Herb, I'd love to." He goes, "Let's go to lunch tomorrow. I'll call you." So he called me. We went to Full Moon Barbecue in Hoover and 31. He hired me on the spot, which I don't even think he had the power to hire me, but I thought he did, and I ended up getting the job.
Yeah. Like Bill Clark hiring football coaches. For me, I was doing local TV. I'd gotten where I wasn't totally happy. And Brown actually was producing for Herb.
That's right.
And he called me during, I forget which Alabama coaching search it was.
I think it was Franchione leaving Alabama, because you're doing the Fran show and you were talking to him frequently, and you were the only media member he was talking to.
So you think it was then?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay. So it was about then. I always forget when Brown and I started doing the show.
Started dating.
And
like he was going to say, Rockstar, you didn't love that.
Not at first. You were a tease.
He would call me at NBC 13 to say, "Have you heard anything going on? We're about to go on the air over here." And nothing. And then our phone calls got longer and longer. And I think either I remember it.
So anyway,
you hang up first.
I'm just gonna lay the phone down. I want to hear you breathe.
Did you ever do that back in the day?
Oh yes.
Jim, you better not be talking to Brown again. Get your ass in bed. That's Maggie.
So
I can't stop thinking about you.
One of us, in my head it was me, but I'm sure it was Brown. The way we remember things is after the conversation had gone, back and forth a couple of times, one of us said, "Man, that would have been a good radio segment. We should, that would have been,
think that was you.
That would have been good."
Yeah.
And then he called me up a couple of weeks later and said there had been a programming change. They had a gap in their
it was
day lineup. Would you be interested in doing a show?
Eli was doing a midday 3-hour show. Mm-hmm. Eli Gold was, and they couldn't agree on a contract or something. So he had decided to leave, or they had decided for him to. I don't know how that played out. But Carrie Lambert, who I ran into the other day, by the way, tells all you hi. Carrie Lambert called me in his office and said, "Hey, I'm just going to let you know Eli is not coming back, and that's going to be your time slot. Who do you want to do a show with?" And I said, "Well, I think Dunaway and I would have a lot of chemistry."
You know, it was so funny. The first time you and I ever did a show, you might not remember this. It was when I was doing the 1 hour roundtable, and we would invite different media people in. It was before you. Landrum was actually producing. We brought Dunaway in, and this is going to shock you guys.
Please tell me I wasn't a dick.
No,
Okay.
this is going to shock you.
Okay.
So I had a format where I would ask all these questions. I would do a list. Dunaway comes in. Hey, can we do it this way? I swear.
Do you want to do it your way or
I
the
swear.
right way?
I swear. Landrum would remember this.
There's no way.
I swear to God.
I would have been nervous.
Nope. You weren't nervous.
I've listened to you. I don't think you're doing it right.
Well,
So, what was my idea? How'd we do it?
You did it. You 1000% verbatim copied. Pardon the interruption.
PTI.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
PTI. Last one.
Chad says his wife loves TNR. It's their 15th anniversary, and she's loving the extra leg action from Dunaway and Brown tonight. We've gone bare legs. You two are wearing britches.
Thank you. And
I'm
if you're
glad
wondering,
I did. It's
if you're
a little chilly
wondering,
in here.
this is my phone right here.
You're
Yeah.
not just happy to see us.
it's a good place
Oh,
to keep
after
it.
you tell us your favorite movies, I don't know if you have a kickstand.
Ben says, "What's the worst remote you've ever been to?" I absolutely 100% know mine.
Yep, mine too. Same
Was
one.
it
I
the same
bet.
one?
Yeah.
So I think we've told this before. I'll try to do it again quickly. We were at I can't use. Screw it.
It was a pizza place.
It was a pizza place that was associated with an event, and it was up in Fultondale on, I think it's US 78 that comes down right there.
Seemed like it was further out, but I'll take Fultondale.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, it could have been.
It
No, it
could've-
was not Fultondale.
Could have been Salina, Kansas, for all I know.
No, Forestdale. I meant Forestdale when I said Fultondale, but it was
Okay.
Forestdale up Highway 78 right there. And you could not, it was such a small place, we couldn't be inside, so we had to be outside. And the sidewalk was so narrow that the table, like 2 legs were in the parking lot and 2 legs were up on the curb. So it was sitting like this. We were crammed in behind it in 2 chairs. Could not have been a worse look for us.
And
And
air brakes on the interstate.
There's a
or the
red
road.
light like 100 yards away. So all these trucks are going.
And I don't know if you know this about me, but I
Yeah.
can be distracted
Yeah,
by
yeah,
other things.
I mean, I was there for 2 minutes and thought there is zero chance Dunaway's doing. I think we're doing 5 hours at the time.
We were 5 hours.
5 hours, right?
1
here.
to 6.
And it's a bad
Never
look for
made
us.
sense. Never made sense.
So Brian McDaniel was the remote tech, and he was sitting there. I said, "B-Mac," because we used to have a rule: if it dropped twice, you went back to the studio. I said, "B-Mac, how's it doing?" Because it's already dropped once. I said, "So if it drops again, we go back to the studio?" He goes, "Yeah." So I reached behind it and I unplugged the phone line. I said, "Did it drop?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'll see you in the studio." And I drive back to I called Dunaway. I say, "Turn around. We'll go back to the studio. It's already dropped twice."
Well, I made it there. I was at least there
Did
when we
you?
turned
Okay.
around because
Yeah,
I
turned
remember
around, went
being
back to
there
the
thinking
studio.
this is hell.
Yeah.
Couple others for me. We were at. It was no knock against the sponsor. It was just where we had to set up on that particular day. I'm sure we were not in the right
The
spot.
shoe store?
It was Red Wing Shoes.
No, it was not. It
It
was.
wasn't.
Oh God, what was the name of the shoe store? It was.
Is it in Pelham?
It's in Pelham.
Okay, it's in Pelham. I
It's
forget
not
the name.
Red Wing though.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it now.
But okay,
Nicest people in the world.
it was the nicest people. in the world.
Cobblestone shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you sell us there? Did you get
no,
us there?
no. I
No,
didn't-
that was
it was-
me.
it was-
Eric-
was it really?
Yeah, Eric Pohl.
Eric
Okay.
Holt. No, the nicest people in the world, and they loved our show.
Yes, absolutely. And like it felt like between where Brown and I were, there was a person working on shoes.
Cobbler.
A cobbler. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, legit.
And the cash register.
Yeah.
You
People lined up and
Got
me trying to talk,
Geppetto back there.
me trying to talk to Brown, and this guy's over here going boom, boom, boom.
And he had like this. He had like he had like this thing you would fire up, and he'd rub the shoes on it. So we'd be right in the middle of a segment, and go.
And I'm sitting here going, what are we
I
doing?
know.
Yeah.
And then somebody come pay for the shoes. Oh,
And then
they just didn't have a lot of space in the store.
one other, the day Michael Jackson died.
I remember that was a tire store.
we
It was
were-
not Vulcan.
We were again AM on it at a tire store
In the parking lot,
in the parking lot
under like a breezeway drive-through. Yeah.
with just close enough to the them changing tires all day long.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
it
Clear on
was.
4.
All
Yeah.
day long.
All
It
day
wasn't one tire. It was one line after another.
And we're doing a show, and somebody from the station calls because this is probably before we even had internet out there, right? and somebody calls and says, "Hey, just a heads up, Michael Jackson died. Just wanted you guys to know." And I think that's the rest of the show, right? We just
Yeah.
did Michael Jackson stuff.
Great Michael Jackson moments.
What about you?
I still can't believe we celebrate Michael Jackson.
I know. Well, we didn't that day. I don't know.
That day.
We turned it into a topic, best Jackson in sports.
For me, I can't
best
really.
Jackson in Auburn history.
I can't remember like the worst remote. There were some interesting ones. I did one from Turner Field, from a
did one-
cubicle.
you did
From a
one from-
cubicle.
You did one
remember
from
that.
Cheetah.
Oh yeah, I did one from the cheetah.
Yep.
That was probably the most interesting was from the cheetah, because the interesting thing about that is it was the same day, the first time we ever had Clay Travis on, and I've told that story before. That an old producer of ours was so upset he was getting so many complaints that we were actually doing a show from a strip club. When Clay came on, he did his top 10 candidates to replace Mike Shula, and number 1 was exhuming the body of Bear Bryant. Alabama fans went nuts, and that's when we knew that Clay was going to be a good guest. Yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting remote.
Just to bring up what's it called in a court trial when you're trying to prove
Evidence, discovery.
Yeah, what's Exhibit A, B,
Exhibit
C?
A, yeah.
Exhibit D, that I wasn't trying to get you fired. You were at a gambling resort in Mississippi.
I was there,
and your mics were open, and I was the one that was burning up the phones. Call him. Tell Lance his mic's on. Tell Lance his.
But
mic's
I think
on.
that was more like a natural reaction. You were so uncomfortable because I can't imagine being in the business. Hearing
if
hot
I
mic.
wanted you fired, I would have let you I would have been cheering for
you
you.
know
to
who
say
that was
something.
on? Rocky.
Well, I was there. I was
roll
at
him under the bus.
but
again.
I was at the casino with you at Mississippi, though.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So who was running the board?
I don't know, because I remember it was me, you, and Tony Curry.
No. This was me and Ian. We went we had to judge the Hawaiian Tropic
That was me.
contest.
We
Yeah, that
had
was
to.
you.
Yeah,
that was me.
We got sent there. We took a bunch of clients with us, but I'll
Yeah.
never forget, like, typically in break, we say everything
Well,
you can imagine.
Yeah.
In my defense, so you have to press all these programming buttons, and Lance would have to record a live every single break.
This
And
is
so
how we got tripped up on the Clay Travis
it was
thing.
hard. It's hard
yeah.
to transition to remember. All right, just remember to focus, to turn the mics off and put it back in program. And sometimes you take it and put it back in program and not turn the mic off. And so that was totally on me when the Clay Travis thing happened. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was at SEC Media
Yeah.
Days when we were all together. When the
So
Clay
it's never
Travis thing
like
happened.
on purpose. It's just that you had done. There's like 15 buttons you have to do when you record a live.
And it technically, I mean, we can blame it on Rockstar, but the first rule we all learned is every mic's a hot mic.
Right.
Yeah.
You never say anything into a microphone you don't want heard.
But I will stand by the fact that SEC Media Days, I think we're right, because we've learned that nobody loves Clay as much as Clay.
yes.
as Clay
No, I
does.
mean, a lot of people remember that as our funniest moment ever.
But the crazy thing is, I
Don't
could have
shake his
said
hand.
that was a PG-13 version, and for me,
it could
you
have
guys
been
know that
much
it could have been
worse.
much worse.
Could have been much worse. Yes, absolutely. Blake says,
Real quickly, Barron's, barrons.com for all your ticket information. 1,000 folks. The gates are starting to open up. People are coming in their T-shirts. Don't forget, we got $1 dogs tonight, but forget about tonight. The series goes on through the weekend. We've got Thirsty Thursday coming up, fireworks on Friday. Saturday is hockey night. Just a big time here at Regions Field. Barrons.com. They're back in August. Once the kids start going back to school, a lot of special nights, Barrons.com.
Blake asked, the one thing you guys miss about your old format? I can't think of one.
Oh, getting up in the morning.
He says he misses the old things we went to break that had the sports sound bites in them. What Brittany's doing with her life.
Yeah.
For me, music. The
Music. That's it.
music.
That's
It's music, and that's it. The things going to break were good for a couple of times, but if and we know you guys don't listen to every second of the show like we do, but for us, after we hear it a couple of times, it gets pretty old pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the other day we talked about, I forgot we did a 4 downs on like saddest song. And when we would do something like that, Rockstar would always play it.
Yeah, we can't do that for rights issues now.
Yeah, and we did a segment for a while. Remember the top 5 songs in different genres?
Yep.
And we'd play them and comment on them.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I can't do that.
Yeah,
there are a few things, but
that's the thing.
The positive far outweighs that.
I would love to play movie trailers and just review them.
I really, we're almost 1 year into this. I don't know if we've really explored what we can and cannot do.
Well, I think Lunsford has
not
learned.
our dime.
Lunsford has learned a few things we cannot do.
Is there a price to pay for music rights? Have we researched that?
Yes, we have. In fact,
Would we?
That's the one thing we didn't do.
We didn't ask anybody. What would we have to do to be able to do movie trailers? we call Paramount and say, hey,
Call Paramount.
we want to review your movie.
See, I don't know what's anything.
Can we play the trailer?
It's promoting their movie.
Well, now if we're
Not if we
trashing it,
butcher.
Paramount Movies. Yes.
yeah, but they bring critics in and they pay the critics to watch, or they give critics access, and they don't all give positive reviews.
Knowing us, we would start taking payola to give them great
'cause
reviews.
I cannot wait till that Barbie trailer drops.
Barbie and Ken.
Oh, that's going to be a good trailer.
We've got 10 minutes left. We were going to address why this is a significant day for us.
I say we go 15 more.
15 more?
Yeah, I
All
gotta
right.
finish my beer.
Okay.
It's going to take you 15 minutes.
So it's going
I-
to take Dunaway 15
Well,
minutes to
I
finish
would-
his first.
I would have drank faster if I knew we were going to go
Oh,
15 more minutes.
Here's Daniel. Worst guest you've ever had on the show. For me, it is Chris Kattan, who was not funny and was a turd because he was there to promote his comedy show. Chris Kattan has never done anything of note other than Saturday Night Live. So he sat down, we asked him a Saturday Night Live question, he answered it. We asked him a second Saturday Night Live question, and he responded, are we going to talk about anything other than Saturday Night Live? And he answered that question. We thanked him and let him go.
yeah, I think it's universal. I think we all go
Yeah.
Chris
all Chris
Kattan,
Kattan?
right?
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Johnson was bad from the Tennessee
Chris Johnson
Titans.
was bad.
I will say,
Gerald Wallace was
I mean,
bad.
if Chris Johnson, we would have to subtitle him right now.
yeah, sports wise, I mean, not that Gus Malzahn was ever, mean to us or nice, but
It
Gus,
was a terrible interview.
Yeah, Gus didn't come on our show a ton. We've had a great relationship with every other Auburn coach, but Gus just didn't get us. Didn't. I don't think he liked the way we did our
Well,
show.
I don't think
remember,
Gus has
I remember I made him the cheese czar.
Yeah, he doesn't have a sense of humor. Yeah, Rockstar, what was the question? Coach Malzahn, you be the cheese czar for the world,
And for America, and
for America.
you have to decide what is the only type of cheese that everybody has to eat for the rest of their lives. He goes,
I don't
Oh.
remember Kraft.
oh shoot, I guess it'd be cheddar.
Yeah, that was the most Gus Malzahn answer ever.
So
right?
forever,
Cheddar, freaking cheddar.
forever and ever, the only cheese we can eat is cheddar.
Yeah.
He didn't like the question, by the way.
What did you want him to go? Smoke
I
Gouda?
was just interested what he. Oh, go mozzarella, man.
Bro,
What would you go?
I like Colby Jack.
For
Yeah.
everything though. So you're putting pizza. Your pizza's Colby Jack cheese.
But if I only
That's
had
true.
one, I would go with the Kraft single, and that would be my one cheese.
It's not even cheese.
it's a
It'd be
cheese
I know,
product.
but I
Cheese
need it for
product.
my sandwiches, and I would kick everything else to the curb.
You eat that on your sandwich still?
Yes,
A-
still.
Well,
You
you know
take
what
the-
happened though?
You
He
take the,
was
you take
Hey,
the cellophane off?
sorry.
What?
Peepaw and what were your
It was,
kids?
it was Papa,
Papa
and Nanny,
and
Pop
Nanny. Well, they waited in line for government cheese.
We
so,
did have government cheese.
Yeah, I bet. So
Did you
the
have to
Kraft
slice
was
it off the
like
block?
gourmet.
We would get a block of cheese. It was government cheese. God, what else we get? We got.
Did it come in the white package with the black letter?
It
It
was-
was just say
it was-
cheese on it, like
no,
generic.
No.
Because when I was a kid at Winn-Dixie and Saks,
That's
they used to-
generic cheese.
they had the generic section, and it just said like cereal.
No, that's
It was like the
that's
Dharma,
generic.
the Dharma
Dharma
It
project.
really was. Yeah.
Government cheese came in a brown wrapping.
Who
And
you looking at over
Yeah.
there?
I was looking to see anybody else.
No,
Government cheese.
No. Hey, those
Where are my
people,
government cheese
those people from 1905 in Rickwood on the wall.
Where's my government cheese?
Everybody makes
in
noise.
the back. In the back.
So you'd have to go to
It
the,
would come just like brown paper, like a brown paper sack, but it was wrapped.
and it was a block, right?
It
You'd
was
have
a
to-
block.
How
and-
awesome was cheese day?
and you
though?
had to
You had to cut the cheese.
You had to show how many people you had living in your house. You had papers.
Bull crap.
No, absolutely. So
that
you
was
know,
the government keeping tabs on
That's
you. Is
right,
what that
that's
was.
right. So we-
Freaking Oliver Twist.
we got a certain, like there was a cheese line. We got a certain amount of cheese, and then there was some other things that we got.
Well, at least you didn't eat toilet paper. You didn't shit for 2 weeks, right?
No,
Eating a block of cheese.
I want to say there were oats, maybe oats or
Mm.
some kind of cereal or something. But yeah, I mean,
God, how did you make it?
we had to go to Columbiana. Had to go to Columbiana to stand in line. I remember as a little bitty kid, 5, 6, standing in that line,
Mm.
and
Tough
pretty
stuff.
happy that we had grilled cheeses that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is amazing you've become what you've become.
What have I become?
And he won't let us see the house.
Condescending dick. We talked about that earlier, right?
You would think you'd be more grateful.
Oh, Taylor, am I a condescending?
Oh, don't do that to Taylor. She's
Come on,
new.
Taylor.
Let's see.
You got to start walking out and talking to her more.
Give us a
commercial
couple of
breaks.
good ones to finish on.
I don't know if Blake says he remembers exactly where he was in the Chris Kattan interview. I do too. I was in the studio.
Yeah.
You were only there for 7 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think it was that long.
Oh, he was. I mean, if we were at 6 o'clock, he was at 6:15.
I can't believe that guy's still walking the earth.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked rough.
He looked rough.
So, all right, and we always confuse this. Pauly Shore was the one that was really interested in you,
Yes.
and Rob.
Explain to people that don't remember that every commercial break,
He was-
Pauly Shore would get out of his chair.
and was flirting with Lance.
And, I mean,
yeah.
I did he lick your ear?
I think he might have licked my face.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that.
But he had a mesh fish shirt on.
Yeah.
Yep. You'd
And
see his nipples.
Rob
Yeah.
Schneider was the one that had the spider, like the
Yeah.
monkey hands, was
Little bitty
pawing
hands.
your bag.
Yeah.
He was the one that it was a big story because 2 months earlier he had gone to a New York radio station. They made him wait for like 2 hours.
Rob
to do an
Schneider.
Yeah, to do, and he was like, I'm no longer waiting because like I waited in the lobby for 2 hours to do this radio hit. So the first thing I do when he comes in, y'all goes, hey, can he wait another segment? I go, hey Rob, is there any way you can wait another? He was like, no, either we do it now or I'm leaving.
That's why we should have put him in the trunk, like they put
And he would not.
Chow and Hangover.
He was so angry. He would not leave the studio because remember he was a big San Francisco Giants fan.
Oh,
And he would
yeah.
not shut up about
was so
baseball. We could
boring.
not get him out of the studio.
Yeah.
Just think of the comedians though that have been very nice to us. The guy that's on The Office who's come in a couple of times. Daryl from
Craig Robinson.
Craig
Yeah.
Robinson. He was just the most interesting thing about Craig Robinson is
He was a little weird though. with
yeah,
that.
Leighton's daughter, Lance's daughter Leighton, and my daughter Anna Kate both love The Office. So we were going to do a video and just text it to him. And he's like, nope, no videos. And we're like, oh, okay. And he goes, I'll FaceTime him. I'm like,
Yep.
All right. And it seems like the video would have been a lot easier.
Well, just
so he,
video, you can have proof. You
yeah,
can
but I
post
mean,
it
he
on social media.
FaceTimed both our daughters, which I thought was very kind of him. But I just thought it was video
I
would have
thought
been
it was really weird.
yeah, video would have been way easier.
the guy from Silicon, he came on with us
TJ
twice.
Miller.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
He
I
was-
forgot about him.
He's-
Yeah.
He was fantastic the first time and remembered a bit we did with him the first time that when
Yep.
he showed up the second time, he brought pickled eggs with him.
That's right. Yeah, we made fun of pickled eggs, and he made somebody stop at a store and get pickled eggs. Yep.
Yeah, he actually remembered it, toured again and
Yep.
came back another time to
That's right.
Birmingham
I forgot about
and
that.
remembered our gig enough to where he came back and brought the pickled eggs.
I loved the machine. What's his name?
Bert Kreischer.
Bert
Yeah.
Kreischer was phenomenal.
Yep.
Now Gary Owen is our all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I think.
But Kreischer's stories about Russia were great.
yeah,
yeah.
Bert Kreischer was phenomenal.
But I agree.
Gary's the
Gary
goat.
Owen's the best.
He's
He
the
is.
goat. Yeah.
Gary Owen is the top.
And unfortunately, like Kevin Hart used to come on the show, which he wasn't really good, but obviously a big name now.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah. But
Oh.
Gary Owen's gotten too big, I think.
Well, he hadn't come here in a while, but I remember the first time he came here, we were downstairs and we had a green screen poster board
You
thing.
talking about Kevin?
No,
Gary.
Gary. And so I remember we had like, hey, we're going to get you on in like 15, 20 minutes. And he was there like at 6 a.m. And he was like, all right. He had just gotten from another place on Thursday night. He just got to Birmingham. And so he said, I'm just going to go in this conference room. I turned the light out for him. And then like 15 minutes later, I was like, hey, Gary, you ready? I could not see him. He wasn't there. And then I heard, no. He was behind the green screen, laid out, taking a nap. It was awesome. He's like, all right, let's do this. And he comes in with all the energy in the world.
Yeah, it
How
was
they
great.
somebody like that can turn on
But
like that.
even guys like I did not find Carlos Mencia particularly funny, but he was an extremely nice guy.
Yeah, he's
Neither did
personable.
one of our interns.
No, that guy was a weirdo, but
Yeah.
no, he was a really, really nice guy.
He's been on several times.
Yeah, but I don't think he's all that.
Tom
funny.
Arnold was awesome.
I was about to
but-
say Tom Arnold was
phenomenal.
fantastic.
I'm not.
Told us I never eat what meat. What factory did he work
I
at?
can't remember. Was it a sausage factory?
Yeah, somebody's finger got
Yeah.
taken off and they just kept going.
Yeah, just kept making the sausage.
But I mean, I guarantee we've all eaten human meat, right?
Yeah. Where's my eating human meat folks in here?
make some noise.
Make some noise.
Yeah. Yeah, the comedians we've had have been really good. Another good interview though was Charlie Daniels. I think that's one of mine and yours particular
Yeah.
favorite. Charlie
was
Barry
Daniels
Switzer.
was fantastic. Barry Switzer, of course.
Head of Charlie Daniels, but I enjoyed Charlie.
Well, I wasn't going away from sports figures. I mean, we had a million sports figures on. Charlie Daniels before he died was really, really good.
He died?
He did.
He did. Dead as a post.
Been a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, he was on with us before he died. I wanted to clear that
On
up.
his way to Georgia.
Yep.
There's a famous song he does.
I'm trying to think.
Barons.com while LT thinks ticket
Yeah.
information throughout the rest of the season. Barons.com. That's where we are. Regionsville. Beautiful sunset on what I believe is called the Palmer back there, not the Palms.
Yeah,
One of us four
The
got
sweaty
out.
palms.
the
One of,
Palms.
one of
We
us
pull up.
four.
That's a steakhouse.
One of us four got excited when we got out of the parking lot looking at the new development outside right field here. And I was like, what a beautiful, beautiful new building in downtown Birmingham. Oh, the Palms. We've got a beautiful pool, the Palms. That's awesome. And then LT said, Dunaway, it's the Palmer. I couldn't see the rest of the
Like
letters.
they're going to build
Is the
something.
deuce in there?
I got it.
Yeah.
Something in downtown Birmingham called the Palms. That makes no sense whatsoever. not like we're in Miami Beach.
Like the Palmer makes any sense?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It could be the family that owns it.
So, who is the most random person we've ever had on?
What do you mean by random?
Random?
It's a good example.
Oh, random. I don't know.
I remember we had the winner of the chick bracket, Misty Dawn. We had her like 3 or 4
God.
times.
She was smoked though, wasn't she?
She won. I got her. I remember I got her on through like MySpace or something like that. And She finally agreed to come on.
MySpace.
What are the chances she's got an OnlyFans now?
I remember she got married.
Who's Misty Dawn?
She was our first or second winner of the chick bracket.
Didn't you have to be famous to be in the chick bracket?
Not Misty. Misty was a model.
Yeah, I mean, she was famous in her own right.
Yeah.
So she was kind of.
Well, I got turned down by a lot of people. You was surprised. Like Kaylee Cuoco did not want to come on the show. Maggie Q did not want to come on.
No,
the
we
show.
had a couple of somewhat famous people that came on to talk about it.
We had. She was on The Apprentice. She was a former Playboy model. She was on
Jenna McCarthy?
No, not Jenna. Jenny.
Yes.
Jenna.
No, we did actually.
Could you imagine Jenny McCarthy on The Apprentice?
We had a girl from Rock of Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, you know the most random was we had. So we went. You brought this up earlier. Name that stripper, where we would actually come up with the stripper's name. We actually had asked that stripper, where 2 of them came in studio. Do you remember that?
Yes, it was very.
That was a mess.
Yeah, one guy
Really?
one guy was hitting on our intern at the time. It was very uncomfortable for me to.
Was that their bodyguard?
I don't remember who it was. I just
think it
remember there was
was.
a lot of like uncomfortable conversations going on behind me.
Forrester says Eric Estrada. That was pretty random. I think people
long-winded.
I think people remember that more for the 15-minute answer he gave us rather than it just being.
Lance asked the question how he felt about Bruce Jenner being replaced or something like that. And he went on a 15-minute
Oh,
answer.
it was incredible how long the answer was.
Yeah,
We finally got there.
Yeah, was that the one where you go, there it is?
Yeah. Rockstar said
Yes,
it.
I know. There it is. Anyway.
So what are y'all doing after this?
Well, we're about out of time. Do we want to? I mean, we've only said this 15 times.
No, do it tomorrow during the show.
No. Okay.
We can do it. We can tease
We
it
do
at
it
least.
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit.
Knock it out.
It's Independence Day.
It is Independence Day for us. Today was a significant day in the history of our company and our show.
And you're wearing red, white, and blue.
I am wearing
Go
red,
on.
white, and blue shoes. Hey, one of the
A little bit
workers here
close.
stopped me and told me how much she liked those shoes. Laurel was with me.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
you have a
bye.
witness. Okay, good.
I do have a witness, Rockstar. I knew you weren't going to believe it.
Well, that's a New Balance family over there. We
I
are
know.
too. Proud sponsor.
That's right.
Actually, at the wedding, all the groomsmen in the Lunsford wedding wore New Balance.
I was
You
at the
guys
wedding. I
remember
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So when we left Cumulus Media, we all work under contracts, and there's certain things you agree to under a contract.
And y'all did this when I was out of town, by the way.
Well,
Agreed to this?
No,
No,
y'all
we
left.
left. We
Oh,
didn't
we
agree
left,
to this.
Lance, you may have a different destination on Monday morning. look a lot like your home address.
You're gonna need to put that.
You know
into-
what, though?
To wait.
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah. So the one thing I am proud of is that we did everything our contract required us to do. But there are certain things at the end of the contract that last a year after your employment, and that year ended at midnight last night.
Yeah, a little longer in this case. Longer
Yeah,
than
from
a
the
year.
end of our contract,
Yep.
there were some situations there. So there are probably a few things we've had to be. Well, there are a few things we've had to be careful about in the first year of our operation, and we no longer have to be careful
No.
about those
We can
things.
finally get Chris Kattan back in
That's
the
right.
studio.
Chris Kattan back in studio with us.
Uh,
So
4 Downs is back starting tomorrow.
No, so I do think. Whew,
The lounge is coming back.
Yes, Mystery Fifth Hour is coming back tomorrow.
I do think there will be some interesting elements to the show coming up.
Well, I think we can now do the history of the show and be 100% honest about
The
it. There's-
documentary?
Yeah, the documentary.
13
There's-
episodes?
There's Dunaway Will
2
Studio-
hours each?
13 episodes for some reason. There's nothing we have to avoid now. Absolutely nothing we have to avoid. So we can be brutally honest. And I think that's what our audience wants.
I agree.
Brutal
I mean,
honesty.
I'm excited about it.
We name names.
Where the bodies are buried.
that seems unlike us to name names.
Well,
Yeah, I probably won't name
Yeah,
names.
I mean
There's
we've been
one
Well, I might.
we've been really. I think we've been. If I do say so myself, I think we've been really nice over the last year and a month.
We've been professional.
I'd like to keep it that way.
Yeah. Well,
Got a well on that one.
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah,
that's fine.
well,
Yeah, okay.
No, but you still would say the worst employee we ever worked with was Bill, right?
They made a movie about it, didn't they? 2 of them.
I'm just saying.
Another, I guess.
Is he still alive though? I guess I would probably get a text first if he dies.
Did our listeners ever know? By the way, Barons.com. Where it
By the way,
reaches
how
to.
pissed would you be if you gave blood in that Swedish thing where it says that you
No.
saved a life today, and it
It was
says
his.
here's is a picture of him doing this?
I'd never get blood again.
I want my blood back.
We had a boss at one point named Bill. We won't go into names.
Yeah, there have been multiple.
just
bills.
did.
Surely,
No, there have been multiple bills.
Okay.
They don't know which one
but
we're talking
surely
about.
you guys caught on back when we do this, and then every day,
Now we don't.
every day in the viewing menu, we would either say Kill Bill or Kill Bill 2 was playing that night because LT wanted to kill Bill.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, there's only one person that I would gut, and it would be him.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad you can narrow it down to one.
Happy
Well, I'm just saying,
thoughts.
if I accidentally hit somebody, I
On
would
purpose.
stop.
Oh,
But if I knew it was Bill, I'd keep going.
Even after all these years?
You know what? I might back up,
Yeah.
run him
Just
over.
make
and
sure.
then
That did
go
it.
again, yeah.
All right, got it.
But
That's
still,
just
I
saying.
mean, how long has that been now? Decade?
Probably, and I shouldn't
Awesome.
hold a grudge like that.
Yeah,
He's awful.
Seems like there's more people.
Disgusting, despicable human
I mean,
being.
we got him fired. Was that not enough?
It didn't take much.
It didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when you tell the owner of the company, we're not signing our contract if that guy's the general manager still.
It was a good contract negotiation.
That was.
That was
a
2011.
lot of people thanked us for that one.
That was when Brown wanted to play a round of golf
Oh, I've got a great story
for our deal.
Yeah.
about corporate, what they said about Bill. I guess we can talk about that on the air tomorrow.
We don't have to talk about it then. We can save it for the documentary.
And we do need to say some stuff for this
Yeah.
documentary.
I mean, that'd be
We've
early in
spent
the
a lot of
documentary.
This
too.
is
That'd be
great.
like
This was
episode 3.
a VP, what he said about him.
Mhm.
So good.
Well, there you go. So all that coming up in the documentary.
So
All
what
right.
Brown was saying there, we're contractually tied to
We're
nobody anymore.
Not a soul. That's
And
right.
I don't know
That's all
about you
us now.
guys. I don't plan on ever signing another contract the rest of my life. You?
What are you, Don Draper now?
Did it again, right?
it's 2.
I'm just saying. He didn't
Well,
want it.
we don't have any contracts with each other. I didn't sign anything, did I? Oh, we did.
Well, I mean, there is a little thing called an LLC.
Gotta
It's,
dial that back a little bit.
it's all right.
Do I have a no compete?
No,
Okay.
no, we'll let you go anytime.
That'll make up the deficit in the books like that, wouldn't it?
That's right. Ding. All right, well, that's going to do it. How do they get tickets done away from Rockstar? Have you decided how you're going to sing the 7th inning?
I have not, man. I it's just ideas rolling around in my little noggin right now. I don't know.
Tickets available still tonight.
I'll just feed the crowd. I'll just read the crowd and then go from there.
Barons.com first pitch is still roughly 25 minutes away. If you're in the area, swing on by. If you're staying at the Palmer right now, come on over.
Yep,
Tickets
this is
available.
us.
First 1,000 fans.
We're waving
Children's
through the shade.
Hospital.
We're waving through the shade.
What's the left field? What's the name of that one?
Lefty.
No, the Ion, right?
The Ion. Oh, very good.
Or the Ian?
The Ian.
I
Ion.
don't know.
Come on out, Barons.com. Tomorrow night, we're here. Thirsty Thursday on Thursday. Fireworks Friday. Saturday is hockey night. I don't really know what that means, but it's hockey night.
Are you going to be able to
Barons.com.
have a second beer or no?
Seriously, he said Thirsty Thursdays on Thursday this week.
Yeah,
I mean, my God.
What time did you
That's
buy
hotter
this
than piss.
what time did you buy this one?
I brought it from
No, I
home.
saw it.
5:30.
It was at 5 o'clock.
No, it was at 5 o'clock.
5:15. 5:15.
Yeah, because that's when we went down to get the hot dog.
Wait, so what time is it? 6:30?
It is 6:40. 6:40. He's had this since
Embarrassing.
5:15.
Wait, let me go.
He's not even going to do it.
I don't drink fast. I drink vodka faster than I do beer. I enjoy the taste. What are you supposed to say? It's not my brand.
Yeah, I'm
What-
not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna be. Yeah, people want us to video the 7th inning stretch. Of course, we're gonna do that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So we play
Taylor's
it on the
here.
show tomorrow. Yeah,
Our marketing director's here.
Yep.
She'll handle that.
we got a lot of people to video. We can get like a three camera shot on this one.
All right.
We'll play it on the show tomorrow.
Dollar hot
Is-
dog
is
night.
she our marketing director?
She
now?
is. That's her
Director
title.
of marketing, right?
Yeah, it's their title since day one.
Okay. I thought social media.
That's what it says, right?
I'm
Director
just.
of-
I'm going by her Twitter handle. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
She is CFO. She's been
Swear to
CFO
God,
for 2 weeks.
Somewhere it says director
It's
of marketing.
on her Twitter.
It's on your Twitter. You put it there. Director of marketing.
That's fine. Own it.
Let's see it.
Hang on.
I think she's our social media
Well,
director.
I don't know what she is. I'm just telling you what it says on her.
We got a lot of Taylors in
Hey,
there.
it's okay. Beef up that resume.
Director of Marketing
Okay.
at Next Rail Live, Auburn University grad.
I stand corrected.
No, I think she needs to own that title. Own it. Own it.
Director of Marketing.
Action.
Our Director of Marketing, Taylor.
Yep.
Longest wrap up in the history of our show here.
Are you director of anything, Lunsford?
He's the operations manager.
director.
That's right.
Manager or director? Manager. Director. Make him a director Monday.
Phillips says, isn't LT part owner of this company? He doesn't know the job people do. That's so true.
People like to overemphasize their titles. I mean, Rockstar, what's your title?
I am illusionist,
Yep. Puppet master.
executive producer,
Yep. But not
And
Jewish. You're not Jewish, right?
all around 10.
Yep.
Whatever my mom calls me a 10, whatever that means.
Mhm.
I'm director of content.
Okay.
Content?
Condescending.
Yeah, condensation.
And the condescending
Yep.
director.
Yep.
All right. That's the show.
That's it.
Good night, everybody.
Yep. See you.
Off.